So here I'm looking at the commercial block of KWS Kerrin, and we've got a replicated small plot fungicide trial looking at different inputs here. We've got quite a few treatments, but I just want to highlight a few because as you can see down there, you can see some slightly darker plots. They're the ones where disease control hasn't been as good. So there are going to be some clear differences here, both in terms of disease, green leaf and yield at the end of the day. So we start off with the untreated Kerrin, as we saw in the variety interaction trial. Not a lot of green leaf here, pretty dead, mainly from Septoria, though there was a little bit of yellow rust. Adjacent to that, we have a high input program, which is based around the fungicide input used in the AHTB variety trials. This program has two applications, T1 and T2, of mefentrifluconazole, along with other inputs at T0 and T3. And you can see this is what a very, very robust program has given. I guess the question is, do you need that level of input? So we'll have a look at some of the other treatments. So this treatment we're going to look at is similar to the previous one, except we've changed the T1 treatment to Elatus Era at T1. We know that that will give us hopefully longer protection, and indeed you can see that we've got at least as good a control, and we've spent a little bit less in achieving that. So it will be interesting to see how that develops and yields at the end of the day. So this treatment here is broadly similar to the previous ones, except we didn't include any multi-site inputs. The multi-site uses Folpet, of course, this year. The previous treatments all had Folpet at T0, T1 and T2. This one did not have Folpet T0, T1 and T2, and I think you can see there's slightly less green leaf here. So we are seeing a benefit from including the multi-site, even where two SDHIs were used at T1 and T2. Now this program here is looking at something completely different. It's probably one of the cheaper programs, and all we've done here is used 3 applications of multi-site Folpet, T0, T1, T2, to see what it does. And clearly, whilst it's not the best program, we've still got more green leaf than the untreated. So this program is going to give us a yield response. Not as good as the more robust programs, but you can see that the multi-site Folpet is delivering us good, useful disease control on Septoria. Finally, just to look at this program here, this input here was a reduced input program. We had a low level of input at T1, no T0, and then a reduced SDHI triazole applied at T2. And whilst you can see again there's more green leaf than the untreated, it's certainly not one of the better programs we've got here. So clearly cutting back too much, even in a relatively dry season on a susceptible variety in this part of the world, it is not going to give us our best yield response. So all these will be taken to yield, it's all replicated, we'll have statistical analysis of it, and we'll see what we get at the end of the day. But I am anticipating getting some good yield differences from this trial. So that's all for now. We'll catch up when we've got some harvest data.